Think your business is the next big thing?
Well, hello, Titans.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Today, I want to bring to you my restaurant, Wantedly Pasta and Go.
I'm the founder of the next big thing.
This is Go Fund Yourself, the breakthrough TV series that connects you directly with top CEOs and millions of potential investors.
People watching the show have the ability to have an ownership interest in something that is going to blow up.
You guys have success like all over you.
Turn your dream into reality through investment, crowdfunding, and buzz.
I think you guys are going to kill it.
It's time to put some dough behind this thing.
This isn't just a pitch, it's your launch pad.
How much capital do you need?
Might be a huge number, but I'm actually looking for $100,000.
Ask for a little bit more.
Put another zero on it.
We'll get that money.
$250,000.
$500,000 or more.
Looking to raise $1.5 million.
And for a limited time, launch your campaign with us and get $10,000 off thanks to our exclusive partnership with King's Crowd.
We now have an opportunity to go fund you.
I want the right partner.
It's really, really good.
I really believe that we've just met the next future billionaire.
She's going to hit a home run on this.
People are watching this and they want to invest right now.
We can take this thing to the moon.
Are you ready to bring your business to life? Scan the QR code. Apply now.
All of us should lean in here and figure out how we can help.
We want to be a part of this wave.
This isn't just another investment show, it's a movement. Go fund yourself.
So welcome everyone. Welcome to King's Crowd AI and Emerging Tech pitch session. And you'll hear from founders who are pioneering new frontiers in AI, software, and other transformative technologies. I'm Brian Christie. I'm co-chair of the board of directors of the Crowdfunding Professionals Association, CFPA. I'm also CEO of Brainsy, and I'll be your host for this pitch session. We're especially honored that we have Sophia Zhao, who's partner at Alumni Ventures AI First Fund, as our session judge. She has spent her career backing visionary AI and tech entrepreneurs, and she'll be engaging each founder with thoughtful questions and closing the session with her insights. Now, the format is 5 founders, 5-minute pitches, and we'll have a few minutes for Q&A. So let's kick things off with our first founder, who's going to be Kathy Minter, who's CEO of Wisdom.io. Welcome, Sophia, and then later we'll welcome Kathy.
Ready?
Kathy, we're ready for you.
Can you guys see me?
We can see you.
All right, awesome. Great to be here. Kathy Minter, co-founder and CEO of Wisdom. In 2021, I got a call that my dad had been in a car accident. And 6 weeks later, he passed away from pancreatic cancer, which had been undiagnosed. And my mom was completely devastated and totally unprepared. And she was also determined to stay in our family home that they had lived in for over 50 years. And over the next couple of months, I was traveling globally. I'd been in software and tech for 30 years. And I was a caregiver for her, and my sisters were all over the country in California and Georgia. So I was worrying all the time about my mom, and her text messages weren't coming in and beeping, and she wasn't answering her phone. And I had no way to know what was going on. So I started looking into the market, and I was totally shocked at the lack of innovation. I was also, it hadn't changed in 30 years since I've fallen and I can't get up. And I also was shocked at how outdated and stigmatizing and ageist the messaging was. So in November of 2023, I had the fortunate place of reconnecting with my co-founder, Dawn Newsom, and we set out to kind of tackle these challenges for our parents as she was also facing that, and began to build Wisdom. So falls are the #1 reason why an older adult loses their independence. And by 2030, we've all heard it, there's going to be 70 million older adults over the age of 65 in the US. And the stats are pretty compelling that 90% want to remain in their own homes, but most homes are just not ready. And 80% of older adults who are given, some of those, the lanyards and the medical alert devices, they don't wear them. And we've all seen them hanging on doorknobs and in kitchen drawers. And other people go out to Walmart or Best Buy and buy cameras and try to set up a DIY system, which is really invasive and actually ineffective. And every day in the news, we read more and more about the shortage of caregivers and how expensive care is becoming. And 24/7 care is completely out of the reach for most everyday Americans. So preventing falls and also ensuring that rapid response happens when something happens is absolutely critical for independence. So at Wisdom, we've built a modern edge computing architecture. It's built with ambient radar and vision sensors. It runs seamlessly in the background. We have a powerful AI engine that's powered by an NVIDIA GPU. As I said, it edge in locally in the home. It detects the falls and movement and risk patterns, and it all protects the older adults' dignity and privacy. If something happens, our 24/7 support will escalate the incident and get help on the way. Everything is available through a very friendly My Wisdom mobile app. It's simple for families to use. It also keeps our home agencies that we're working with up to date. And a lot of our competitors.
Kathy,
Yes.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but people are not seeing your slides. So if you could, there's a button you could push to just initiate that. We'll give you back a few seconds.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So
I thought that that was sharing back the whole time. Sorry, I had share, but let me keep going. Is that not sharing?
we're seeing it now.
All right. Well, hope you enjoyed the story going forward, and I probably have a minute left, but just to kind of to spread this is Wisdom. It's a GPU with sensors.
Yep.
Let me just get to where we're at. So since founding the company in 2024, we've developed our MVP. We've launched a site called Help for Aging in Place, Building Community and Education, and we've launched Wisdom 1.0. We've also signed a strategic partnership with Samsung Electronics to introduce a concept of Wisdom on the Go, which is a customized Galaxy Watch app. We're going to be in their booth at the Health Conference 2025 in 3 weeks in Las Vegas. And we've signed our first 3 customers, and we're going to be revenue generating by the end of the year. And next year is about ramping and scaling. And where we are with fundraising, we've raised $535K through issuance. Here's our deal site. We're looking for new investors before the end of the year. Prior to that, we raised a round of angel investors to get us to 730 total raised since founding the company. And if you're on this call, we would absolutely love to have people join us in this journey. So thank you very much.
And Kathy, thank you. Before I turn over to Sophia, is there any, you have a few more seconds, and just in case you want to just flip to those slides quickly, that would be fine.
Sure. So this was just really in terms of the problem I mentioned. The older adult population is exploding. It's a huge market. The whole market has not been affordable through AI solutions in the past. So actually starting the company in 2024 and the availability of more economical processing power has made this democratized now for a home audience. So that's really where we're focused on fall prevention and fall detection. And I think I did get to this slide, but really our differentiator is that we're building on the edge and our data and privacy remains in the home.
Okay, great. Sophia, I'll turn it over to you.
Great. Thank you very much. Great meeting you, Kathy. Thank you for your presentation.
Hi, Sophia. Thank you.
I have aging parents too, and I definitely do worry about them. I'm curious to understand in terms of the adoption, what do you feel might be the hurdle to adopt new products? Because I feel a lot of the aging group, they might not be as tech savvy or tech forward as we are, and they might have concerns about the product or the usage or whatever it is. So how do you get over the adoption hurdle?
Yeah, that's a great question. So first, one thing to note is we're not a direct-to-consumer business, and we're also not manufacturing our own hardware. So we're sort of built for scale. Our first channel is home care agencies. Those are our first 3 customers, and those are our partners that identify families that are in need of this solution at the moment that they need to arrange care. And Wisdom is a solution that helps them in many ways, but one, obviously, identifying need for more hours, also reducing churn for their customers, because when a fall happens is the single biggest reason they lose customers, and just providing better service and innovation to their customers to be competitive. So the home care agencies are actually using this as an extension of their service, and we'll be enabling them to explain the adoption and the technology in the home.
Got it. Great. Interesting. Yeah. And then in terms of partnership, currently you signed a partnership with Samsung Electric. What are some other partnerships that you're hoping um, to uh, to partner with going forward?
Yeah, we're very different that we're not. I wanted to make not manufacturing hardware. So when you think about Wisdom, our vision is to be a smart home for older adults. So we're not in the medical diagnostic or remote patient monitoring space. We want to bring partner solutions into the home. We have an adapter for Matter protocol. So if you wanted to bring an IoT device that has a Matter, like a refrigerator or a stove that's still on, you can partner with other manufacturers of hardware, and we've got other smart home companies to bring additional devices into the home. So those are an example of great partnerships. Other just mainstream companies that don't have a perspective or a way to sell to older adults. I mean, my co-founder and I are women in our mid-50s that have been working, that are caregivers ourselves. So we kind of have gotten inside the heads of some of the older adults. This does disproportionately impact women. Many women will be alone or solo agers in their lives. So there's a lot of opportunities to build those channel partners. Home builders is a big area we're looking at, 55 plus residential developers as well.
Great. Yeah. And could you quickly touch upon your monetization model?
Sure. So what we're doing is we are going into the home care. There's 35,000 home care agencies, but our first targets are in the top 10. So there's almost a total addressable market of 325,000 homes. We are obviously going into one franchise, doing a 2 to 3 family pilot, and then landing and expanding, then going to the next franchise, and then adding a new name, new company franchise. So if you look at sort of a waterfall land and expand model with a 6 to 7% penetration rate, we can get to a $30 million, we believe, with 7% by year 3, by the end of 2028. We should be revenue generating to about 2 to 3 million by the end of 2026, and then it sort of ramps up from there.
Great.
So, yeah, Kathy, we're gonna have to wrap this up. Thank you so
Yep.
much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you,
you as
Kathy.
well.
Thank
Good
you
luck
so much.
with everything. Okay, goodbye. Next, we're going to have Renji Bijoy, who's CEO of Immersed. And so let's have Renji join us, if someone can put him into the show. And so, Renji, if you have slides, you may want to go ahead and get those up first so that we can make sure that everyone in the audience can get a chance to see them. Yes.
Awesome. You able to see my slides?
They're coming up.
Okay.
Looks like your screen sharing, it says, okay, there they are. So you're on. We'll start.
Okay, awesome. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so let me go to the first slide. Hi, my name is Renji. I'm the founder of Immersed. If you think about the past 50 years, we started off with personal computing, like desktops, then laptops, then smartphones. And now all of the tech giants like Meta, Apple, Google, Microsoft, et cetera, are pouring tens of billions of dollars every year to figure out the next generation of computing, which they all have agreed are like a pair of glasses, right? And Immersed is actually the most used AR VR app on the planet. It's an app where you can connect any headset or any laptop, and it gives you 5 virtual screens. It also allows your remote coworkers to enter that virtual space with you. So you have coders who are sitting side by side, even if they're working remote, and it feels like they are physically together, even though they're not. And they can pair program together. Designers can whiteboard together. It's quite literally as if you were to put on a pair of glasses and you teleport to the virtual office. So for us, we now have about 1.5 million users. Sorry, let me minimize UI is blocking. We have about 1.5 million users to date. But the more impressive stat is they spent nearly 2 millennia, or nearly 2,000 years in our app. If you think about it, that's actually more than most people use their smartphones. We have users who use our app 40 to 50 hours every week in a headset. People ask, well, if this is such an important use case for AR, VR, then why doesn't Meta or others with so much money try to do the same thing? And they have. our app has a lot more user usage than Meta's first-party version of our app. And our app also allows you to use an Apple headset or a Samsung headset, et cetera. And we are essentially, maybe call it the Zoom of AR, VR. Doesn't matter what hardware device you have, you can enter the same virtual office as your remote team. We have users that are in pretty much every country around the world, which is really exciting. We started back in 2017. We're about 30 employees, 45-ish contractors that flexes up and down. We've raised about $21 million to date, actually about 18 million of which was actually crowdfunded from users and followers. Only about 3 to 4-ish million was from venture capital. My background, I was pursuing a PhD in computer vision and machine learning at Georgia Tech, but I quit that to then focus on Immerse. So I settled for the master's degree in other words, AI machine learning. Before that, I was a chief software architect at CNN, working on a project called GreatBigStory.com. I growth hacked that to about 3 million daily active users within 2 months. And then that's when I went to grad school and then focused there for 3.5 years. And then after that, focused on Immersed. And you can dig into the rest of our team's background, but very impressive team. The difficult part is, if you look at this image right here, these bigger, bulkier headsets, like for example, the Apple Vision Pro or the Meta Quest headsets, these are 2-pound brick things that are on people's heads. And that's why we're sort of quote unquote stuck around the 1.5 million user mark. We want to get into tens or hundreds of millions of users someday. And so in partnership with Qualcomm and another major XR sort of AR VR operating system company whose name you know very, very well, we partnered together to build a visor. So if you go to visor.com, you can find it there for pre-order. It's a headset that's specifically focused on work. It's a headset that is 70% lighter weight than the Apple Vision Pro or some of these other headsets you've seen out there. And it only costs about $1,000. So for example, my iPhone 16 Pro Max weighs about 7 ounces. Visor only weighs about 6 ounces. So it's lighter weight than a smartphone, but it has 2 million more pixels than the highest resolution headset on the market, which is the Apple Vision Pro. And again, it only costs about $1,000, mainly because we're focused on work and not gaming. So gaming headsets have a bunch of other bells and whistles. Visor is predominantly just focused on getting me 4K monitors in my sort of virtual world. It also has full video pass through, so I can see the world around me as well. So it really just feels like I have holographic screens all around me. And then obviously I have my coworkers there as well. So it's really the definition of putting on a pair of glasses and teleporting to the virtual office. And the last piece here is, now that I have a headset that can see the entire world around me, can hear everything that I'm hearing, can hear everything that I'm saying, we now can create something that we're now calling Curator, which is essentially my AI assistant. Think about it as a ChatGPT that lives life with you, a ChatGPT that exists in your context rather than you having to enter a bunch of text-based context and try to get ChatGPT to give you some responses. It's an AI that's able to be proactive with you. And so getting back to my PhD roots, our team is able to now focus on making me a Renji ×2, not just more productive in a private distraction-free virtual world, not just with better hardware, but now almost think of it as an automated executive assistant. I need someone that's 24/7 on, has perfect memory, and is able to have the entire context of the world around me. And so there's a demo on Twitter. Feel free to check out my Twitter. It's the first top pinned demo there. All that to say, I'll wrap it up here. The tech giants are pouring tens of billions of dollars into research and development. They mainly focused on gaming to start with. Now they're sort of coming into the space that we have really been pitching for the past 7 or 8 years, and they're now saying, oh, now you can use these as work productivity things. And we're essentially beneficiaries of that because all the traffic is really coming to us based off of us having kind of the strongest SEO in this space. Time Magazine wrote about us, TechCrunch wrote about us, all this for free, just organically on their own, the New Yorker, et cetera. If you think about it, we're not focusing on the niche VR gaming hobbyist world. We're focused on the market of everyone who uses a computer for work. So if you use a computer, teachers, students, day traders, legal teams, finance teams, et cetera, just put on a pair of glasses, you have your entire workstation with you if you're on your couch or your porch or the airport, hotel room, et cetera. And now that we've raised $22-ish million and we're continuing to raise additional crowdfunding capital, we are now competing with Meta and Apple, the tech giants, on this race to build this next generation of computing. And we've actually reserved our ticker symbol as well to go public in the next couple of years, because now our partners like Qualcomm and others are projecting that we're going to sell about 1 million visors in Visor's first year, which will be next year. And at about $1,000 per headset, it's about $1 billion top line revenue. So in the next couple of years, we're setting up to go public. And so obviously we're opening up a crowdfunding campaign for more retail investors to get involved. So feel free to check it out at invest.immerse.com.
Okay, Renji, that's great. Let's turn over to Sophia now to present some or ask some questions.
Yeah, thank you, Renji. Wonderful presentation. Love it. Curious, first question is, why crowdfunding and not VC capital?
Yeah, so we had tried VC in the early days. AR/VR had sort of its heyday in 2014, 15, 16. Enter 2017, foolish Renji, when there's no VC or money available for AR/VR anymore. I entered the space, but I think when COVID hit, that's when we started seeing a lot more VC interest, and so we did take capital. We did take about $3 or $4 million, maybe $3.5 million from VC. But then as we started realizing, well, these bigger, bulkier brick headsets are not going to get us to tens or hundreds of millions of users. We have to now get into hardware, which, by the way, I tried not to. I gave our Visor spec to Meta and Google and others to have them build it. They ended up saying, we just want to focus on gaming. If someone else builds out this kind of professional Visor headset, then we'll follow. And now Meta and others have announced, oh, they're working on a work Visor now that Immerse is working on one. And so now that we're getting to hardware, this gets even riskier in the eyes of venture capitalists who don't really understand the space. Given the data at the end of the day, now we started realizing, well, first off, it's not really the best use of my time to spend 6 to 12 months on getting VCs to kind of, or like, herd cats and try to get them to write the checks that make sense for us. Whereas crowdfunding, I just show the pitch and it kind of clicks for everyone. And so it's kind of been just a lot lower lift approach to this. And on top of that, we need to raise, kind of on the order of hundreds of millions of dollars in the next couple of years if we want to continue staying ahead of Meta and Apple and others who are now entering our space. I'm not going to assume that we're a guaranteed winner forever. So all that to say, because we can now go sort of this Reg A plus route that allows us to raise about 75 million per year. So the next couple of years, about 150 million, and then go public.
Got it. I see. So you talked about like there's the application part, there's the hardware part, and there's the AI part. Going forward in the next, let's just say 12 to 18 months, which one of these three would be your prioritization?
Yeah, so the Immerse application, the software was the first focus for the first 5 years of the company. Then the past 2.5, 3-ish years has been the hardware development, and now that's shipping to production. And the AI portion is now what we've been focusing on. So these are things that have already been in development, and they all kind of click together. So we're going to continue kind of bolstering each aspect of that. It's not something that it's kind of like an ecosystem. We don't have to only focus on one area. As we continue to grow the company, each aspect synergistically impacts the other. It makes it better.
Yeah. Which area is the hardest to tackle comparatively?
Yeah, I would say that the software is becoming commoditized as far as just the screen emulation software portion. The hardware is definitely very, very difficult for other kind of people to try to enter the space. That gives us a pretty big moat. The AI portion, once you unlock the hardware, the AI portion is then unlocked too. So like for example, ChatGPT, no matter what I do, I can't have it live life with me unless I have my cell phone camera on. But when it comes to Visor, because I'm already working with my computer screens, my AI is already with in my entire environment with me. So I would say the hardest is probably the hardware, and we've already kind of figured that out.
Yeah, interesting. And you may have mentioned this, I may have missed it. Which foundation model are you working with on the AI side?
Yeah, so we let the user choose that. So one of our partners, they have a very strong a name I can't name until they decide to announce it in the next couple of months. But you've heard of it. It's one of the prominent AI models. And then you could also use ChatGPT or Llama. But for us, we let the user choose which one they want to use.
Interesting. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions, Sophia? If not, we'll wrap it up and move on to the next one.
Oh, I'm great. Thank you very much. Renji, I
Awesome.
look forward to
Appreciate your time.
afterwards.
Okay.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Great. Thank you, Renji. So next up, we will have Steve Nori, who's CEO of Gen AI Works. And so, Steve, if you want to hop on stage, you have a chance to present here as well. Steve, did I get your last name right? Because I want to give you a chance to correct me if I didn't.
Hi, Brian. Yes, it's Steve Nori.
Okay, great. So, and now if you're going to present slides, maybe that's something you want to have, or are you already in demo mode?
No, I'm sharing the slide.
Okay.
I'm going to share a slide in a second.
Okay, we're waiting for that to come up. Let's see. Now, there you are again. Okay.
All right. Hopefully you can see my slides.
Not yet. So. Okay, so it's coming up now. And with that, we'll go ahead and we'll start the clock, Steve.
All right. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Excited to be here. My name is Steve Nuri. I'm co-founder and CEO of GenAI Works. We are the AI platform. We're redefining the growth strategy and go-to-market for AI companies. We have two major things that we're excited about, but let's start with the thesis. We all know many AI products coming these days that are kind of copying similar features, similar functionalities. In this AI era, distribution is everything. There's no moat in the product anymore, unfortunately. I wish there was, but essentially it's very easy for incumbents to copy feature. Maybe it takes them up to 6 months if it is a very complex one. It's much more difficult to get visibility on social media. The algorithms are brutal, and there aren't a lot of ways to get natural, free visibility. All the startups are trying to skip the velocity and get a bigger chunk of the market to make sure that they have sustainable advantage and build the community themselves. So we're bringing this to all the AI companies. We have done it ourselves. So we started with a community. We're community first AI product. We use our community as our own moat. We leverage our community to build the data sets that we believe it's going to also help us to be different. And we use that community signal. The intelligence behind those signals is actually what we are offering as a SaaS product to our clients. So we have our education platform, our social media platforms, our newsletter, hackathons, and all of them are a package that will allow us to tap into a community of more than 13 million members. And these are specifically very important because they're all excited about AI and AI tools. And we are also excited to have them. So from the community signals, we're making these data sets and building our platform that is the GTM automation intelligence on top of it. It allows AI companies to optimize the distribution, make social media content, make sure they can understand how to get the best value out of their investments and go viral and get a lot of visibility. The market is huge. Obviously, AI products are coming to the market almost by hundreds every day. So we are the ones that are selling the shovels these days. All of them, many of them are reaching out to us to get help. We are delivering the go-to-market strategy, and also we are allowing them to tap into our own audience. We have many other different ways to monetize our audience. We have our AI marketplace and our academy. Both of them are delivering extra value. We allow these AI companies, which is more than 2,000 of them are already part of our AI marketplace, to get access to our community directly. Also, we use our academy to sell specific courses that are more hands-on and more useful for the ones that want to build the product and also become the users of those AI tools. We converted. We are in a market for about 2 years now. We make more than 3 million ARR, and we have a very, very fast growth. As I mentioned, we have more than 2,500 AI products in our marketplace and more than 50,000 students and 200 plus clients. This just shows that what we are doing works. Some of these clients you might have heard about: NVIDIA, Oracle, IBM, Intel, they're all among the clients. With one of them that I'm very excited about is Perplexity. They reached out to us when they had only 10 employees, not very well known, and they wanted to make sure that they can break through the noise. We grow very quickly.
Steve,
Less than 2 years.
Steve, we're gonna have to wrap up pretty soon. So just
Yes, less than 2 years, we hit the 13 million, and we are also very quickly growing. The revenue comes from multiple places. Our AI product is major one, the marketplace, as I said. So finally, it's about the distribution engine, our data flying wheel, and the growth that we have, which is unprecedented. Our team, all backed by very experienced people. JL Allardyce and Roda Melaluf, my co-founders, they're both well known in the AI industry, and we have great panel of advisors that are helping us through this.
okay. And Steve, we'll actually leave more time for Q&A, but we have to wrap up the pitch section now, so we can move on.
That's all good. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. And Sophia, we'll turn it over to you to
For sure.
start with
Thank you
some
very
questions.
much, Brian. Hi, Steve. Great to meet you. Very interesting. I would love to know, in terms of geographic presence, or in terms of the geographic coverage, where are you currently focused?
So we are a global community. Our focus is majorly Europe and North America, but it's a virtual open platform, and we welcome everyone to join.
Got it. Interesting. Do you see more engagement from US or Europe? Just curious about sort of like the geographic difference.
Of course. So we have many different offerings for different geographical location, different background, and also experience. As an example, some of our newsletters are more targeted towards more senior professionals. So we have a lot of C-levels and senior executives joining there. Some of our webinars and content are more interesting for North America. And so what we're trying to do, understanding our own audience and giving them what they are looking for and targeting each sector differently. So you might have APAC, being very, very active on part of this social media platform. You might get North America mostly in hackathons, and that's how they're different.
Wonderful. I see. And I'm curious, who do you see as your competitor in this space? I would imagine there are a lot of different communities that they want to provide the knowledge and tool set for varieties of users, because everyone is very curious on learning and adopting AI.
Of course. So what we are offering is a sort of a flying wheel. There are a lot of smaller communities and competitors that are trying to do part of it. So we have newsletters that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Our newsletter has 3 million subscribers. So definitely there are smaller competitors that are tackling, these some of the areas that we are into. Also, you can see like our social media channel is probably the largest AI channel on any social media platform, more than 6 million followers. So we believe that what we have is a mixture of all of these capabilities, but we have the smartness of the platform on top of it. So a lot of the companies, communities, or individuals that are trying to deliver some of these services are reliant only on direct human involvement for the service, versus that we are moving one level beyond that by automating all of our understanding and codifying it into our platform, which is very interesting. We are using it internally, and we are surfacing it to some of our clients right now, which are, more enterprise clients, to be able to, be faster in terms of coming up with the strategies and delivering the strategy through this platform.
Well, maybe for our curious audience that are joining us today, what are some of like the top 3 popular AI topics that people are participating or searching for?
Vibe coding is definitely one of them. It's very exciting. Whenever we run these events, we get thousands of participants. AI agents are obviously expected to be one of them. And interestingly, coding, Python, is still super popular, although we are expecting that coding is going to be more and more automated using these platforms, and more Copilot is going to chew into this space. Still, we believe, and a lot of our audience believe, that there's a value there.
Great. Thank you very much, Steve.
Thanks, Sophia.
Okay, so with that, thanks, Steve. We'll invite our next speaker. That'll be Joshua Resnikoff, who's CEO of TMA Precision Health. And so let's invite Joshua to come on stage, and we'll have a little extra time for Q&A, Sophia, because it looks like our final panelist is not attending. So still just 5 minutes for Joshua to do the pitch, but we can extend the Q&A a bit on this one. Joshua, you ready?
Yep, just want to take myself off mute. It's a mildly important part of this process. Thank you so much for having me. It's really fantastic to be here. We just recently got introduced to Kingscrowd, to be quite honest, when we met Sam as part of the diligence process. And little known to us, we had scored a 4.9 out of 5.0 on Kingscrowd, which puts us in one of the top 1% bracket of all of the people that Kingscrowd looks at. So very excited to be here and tell you about how TMA Precision Health is the AI-powered precision medicine engine for self-funded employer health plans. We do have a partnership with NVIDIA as part of their Inception program, and I'm happy to get into all that in the Q&A. What is TMA? Let's see if I can advance. So I'm going to go back and do a little education here for the people who are still with us. What many of you probably know, and some of you don't, is that 10% of members are responsible for about 70% of the cost on an employer's health plan. So this means that just a few members who go to the doctor a lot make an employer's health cost balloon. Okay, and why is that? Well, it's because of this thing called the diagnostic odyssey. That is the never-ending process where children or even adults, they go from specialist to specialist searching for an answer for an ailment that they have, usually a genetic one. And on average, it takes 7 years for them to get from first symptom to a care path that works for them. We often think of these people as being rare disease individuals, but the reality is about 1 out of every 10 Americans has a disease that causes them to go down the diagnostic odyssey. And these 30 million patients account for about almost $1 trillion in annual medical spend. So it's not a small market by any stretch of the imagination. We also know that employers right now, just with everything that's going on, are absolutely desperate for anything that will help contain costs. They are staring down the barrel of the gun where health plan premium costs are about to go up the most they've gone up in almost 2 decades. The cost of premiums is greatly outpacing workers' earnings and the amount of revenue they're generating. They are so desperate for anything, they are looking at all options on the table. Now, we know on the solution side that when we intervene early clinically, we can save a lot of money. And it's not rocket science. When you find something earlier and you can prevent it from exacerbating, we know that we can prevent the bigger costs from happening. It's just not how the American healthcare system is set up today. But from the work that's been done, we know this is tens of thousands of dollars on a per patient basis with babies. When you get genetics in there, you can save millions of dollars with plans or billions of dollars across the system. But for employers, they can't see these high-cost patients in their own claims data, and so therefore they can't help them, right? Claims data is messy, it's very confusing. You really need a data analytics platform to do this. And that's where TMA comes in. So what we've built is on the front end, two real pieces of tech. On the front end, our AI goes in, does all the data analysis to find these high cost members inside of employers' own claims data. This is the part they own. This is the part we're interfacing. This is our actual app that I'm showing you where we're going and flag patients. On the back end, we then use that same AI, or the second part of that AI, to connect those patients to all the medical expertise that they would need to get that actionable guidance. So we're actually tracking them through that whole process and force functioning all of the clinical action points that they need. And what that means is that with TMA, what is normally taking today 7 years on average for a patient to go through, we can deliver in 12 weeks. And by finding those patients earlier and intervening earlier, we can generate 60% savings and a 3x plus ROI for those employers. And we obviously enable far better care for those families. We end that diagnostic odyssey. That is our mission. We are so good at this that the National Organization of Benefits and Insurance Professionals, the largest organization of its kind in America, over 30,000 brokers, we are now cited as a key solution for their brokers to get to their plans. Now, that's also probably why we have such a huge market opportunity here, right? There are so many people who are so excited what we're doing. To earlier this year, when we first started selling in about April, May this year, we ramped very quickly up to a few 100,000 members. We're about 500,000 today. We have line of sight to onboard about 2.5 million lives in 2026. We also simultaneously started with one disease, pediatric genetic epilepsy, but we had the ability to bolt on point solutions in the back and really be the air traffic controller that matches disease populations to the right solution. And we really want to grow. Our goal is to get to 5%, but today we're going to grow to 2% in 2026. We make it very easy for employers. So we have actually kind of a unique commercial model. Most point solutions are people who provide any kind of wellness or solutioning, even data analytics for an employer. They do what's called a PEPM. That's a per employee per month cost basis. Employers hate it. It's a subscription fee. I have 3 kids, which means we have every streaming service on demand. We have Disney Plus, we have Hulu. We don't watch.
Joshua, we're coming up on time.
Don't worry, I got 2 more slides.
Okay.
What that means is that employers don't have to pay for a low utilization rate. They only pay for what we get. We only charge when we deliver results. Now, because of that, we have a revenue opportunity in the billions. There are 58 million Americans who get their health insurance through their employer. If we even attack a percentage of these, it's $1 billion opportunity for us to generate revenue. We have an amazing team. Happy to share these slides after, but just some of the best and brightest from Harvard and across the space. We have a Series A round open right now. Our WeFunder is actually oversubscribed. We are about to reopen it. But if you would like to get involved, WeFunder is the place to go do it. And again, that's a 4.9 out of 5 on Kingscrowd. So you don't even need to take my word for it. Take Kingscrowd's word for it.
Okay.
Happy to take some questions.
Thank you. Over to you, Sophia.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much, Joshua. Very cool business. I'm curious, can you share with us maybe like what's the sales cycle like with these partnerships? Because I think you got a BD both for, getting the families, right? BD with the employers to get them to want to try you out, maybe BD with partners in order to have these data so that you can run it through your engine and provide these insights.
Yeah, it's a great question. So let's go from patient and up, okay? Actually, I'll start with the actual customer, the employer. So on average, it takes us about 6 months to go from first conversation to actually implementation. We find that we get to a yes from an employer for like, hey, I want to do this in about 12 minutes on our first phone call. Most of the people are just really excited for something that doesn't cost them money up front. It's a zero risk opportunity. And we can, even with just the epilepsy, we can offset their book. We can put almost 2.5% of savings onto their book by interfacing with these patients. So the initial buy-in is very easy. Then you have to go through the general logistics of any sort of contracting and that kind of process. We tend to keep that pretty light. And so 6 months is actually very fast compared to the 700-day average that you have to contract with like a Blue Cross Blue Shield. So we're about a quarter of the time it takes there. Patients, we have a 90% opt-in rate from the patients that we offer this to. We get to a yes very fast with them. So we go through the doctor, we use that last mile of trust. And it's a very easy way for us to go do this. We've done this for hundreds of families, so we're really good at that part. The point solution on the backside for the vendors that we want to plug in, that's an interesting question that you ask. We are vetting we have more opportunity to load on than we actually know what to do with right now. So what we're actually going through is to create a rubric to say, well, which ones are the best and how can they interface with us the most smoothly, so we can provide the best customer experience and patient experience on the front side. But we have everything from epilepsy, we put on an autism spectrum disorder, we're looking at pharmacogenomics, breast cancer, PTSD, I mean, you name it. There is no shortage of pain points on the employer side that would benefit from cost control. So it's a nice place to be, frankly.
Okay, so Sophia, we're going to have to wrap up questions. Actually, the last panelist is actually here. So,
oh, great.
Thank you for that, Joshua and Sophia. Any last minute things you want to get in there quickly?
Oh, no, thank you very much, Joshua. This is a very cool business. I wish you continued success.
Thank you very much. Appreciate being here.
Thank you, Joshua. So now we have Philip Ibrahim, who's CEO of Imoto Bank dealership. And so, Philip, we'll invite you to come on stage. There you are. And Philip, correct my pronunciation if I got anything wrong there.
It's Philip Ibrahim.
Ibrahim, okay, great.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. If you have some slides to pull up.
No, it's just me.
Just you? Okay, great. So in that case, I think we can just go ahead and start the clock.
Very good.
5 minutes.
My company is called Imoto Bank. And at first blush, if you start reading on Net Capital, you'll think that we belong in the retail world, but that's a common misnomer. We happen to buy and sell cars, and this is a live environment that you're seeing. We didn't want to look corporate. We wanted to be very candid about what we do. So I'm right here in the office, and the man behind me is actually selling a car. What we do different is actually use AI and technology to leverage the human being. Because at some point, every business that has a physical product needs to leverage a human being to do more. And so that's what our real difference is. We perfected that over a long time. We were pioneers on eBay in 2001. We were pioneers on YouTube in 2008. We've pioneered every digital aspect of our business ahead of everybody that you see that's a major player by about 10 years. So what we figured out now is that AI can't just be a buzzword, and technology just can't be a buzzword. We actually have to use it. So what we do is we have live meetings with our clients on a screen share, and we short circuit the whole concept of buying and selling cars. Our fastest deal was a cold call, came in and I took the call, and I found out what they wanted. I bought a car that I didn't have, and I finished the bill of sale and closed the deal in 12 minutes. And in the world of automobiles, that's outstanding. You know, the average gestation period is days and weeks. And here we are buying and selling cars in 12 minutes. So the way that we've done that, which makes us really unique, is we figured out the wholesale marketplace and the retail marketplace, there's a spread between them. Somebody has to have the tools to bring the customer in a just-in-time delivery. So we'll share a screen with the customer, show them how much we're paying for the car, the quality of the car, all the things that are available in the wholesale marketplace, and then redistribute the car directly to the end user all across the country. So how do we do this in a manner that's worth, $300 or $400 million? Well, CarGurus took a $5 million initial investment and turned it into a multi-billion-dollar company. But they didn't give tools to the constituents that work for them. So we want to roll up all the independent car dealers in the country and teach them what it is that we know how to do. We want to own the fintech part of it. We want to own the finance part of it. So we have captive finance. We want to own the captive warranty part of it. And most importantly, we want to own the concept of using the technology to take individuals who own dealerships and rather than try to buy their brick and mortar, make them more capable on a massive scale. If you simply took 50 dealers across the country and you signed them up, you would have a footprint that Amazon, Google, Walmart, anybody who wanted to be in the car business, even Amway, could use. And then you could piggyback upon that individual salespeople that don't have to now buy a dealership to become a licensed and bonded dealer. So the AI portion of it is how we're going to start scraping for customers. The other day, I sold a car to a guy on Facebook, literally, a guy I hadn't seen in 20 years, his feed came by and said that his car crashed. And he showed a picture of his crash. So I Googled car accident on Facebook. I couldn't believe how many people post their car accident. But in about a very short period of time, he used to sell cars at a Honda dealer in Maine. I'm in Massachusetts. He said, I got a great deal for my Honda dealer. I used to work there. I said, well, let's jump on and share a screen and see what it is that you can do and what I can do. And within about 15 minutes, he canceled his Honda deal, bought the car from me. The car's shipping now from Nevada on its way here. It's going to get serviced and delivered to the guy in Maine. He's never left his house in Maine, and it's $4,000 cheaper than what he was going to buy equivalent there. And so AI can be used to start scraping for customer acquisition. And on the sourcing side, we manually go through the wholesale networks that have, condition reports and all the things that we do in wholesale, not retail. AI can start scraping and optimizing that for us. And we just need to kind of take ourselves from where we are to where we're going. The company was started with $20,000 in just me, a backpack and 20 grand in 2008, after I had failed in a previous automobile venture over 7 years. I had succeeded, but one day we violated terms of service on eBay, and the whole thing crashed. They shut off all 12 of my names. So a year and a half later, I started again with $20,000, and we now do 15 million in sales. We get 17 people that work for us. We pay cash for everything. We've set aside extra money to make sure that we're not going to ever get hurt. I'm 53 years old. I don't want to blow up my life. I just want to make sure that we create a fantastic company. So we need to raise money.
Yeah, and Philip, with that, we are at time. So
Perfect.
do you have any final words before we switch over to Sophia with questions?
No, we need to raise money. That's
We need
it.
to raise money. That's a good.
We make money and we need to raise more.
Good transition. So, Sophia, please.
Yeah, for sure. Hi, Philip. Lovely meeting you.
Likewise.
I've seen a lot of roll-up businesses in the age of AI where companies are, buying up smaller firms and using AI to better optimize across, like you mentioned, accounting, operations, sales, and whatnot. Kudos to you for doing that. Curious, what AI tools are you using?
So can I just address the part about the roll-up? We're not looking to buy the individual dealers. We're looking to create a contractual consortium where we join forces and negotiate all the things that are too big to do individually. And the umbrella company, which is my company, will own all of that aspect of it. So we're vertically integrating more difficult things to do than individual things. And with that said, the way that we're going to charge them is, rather than charging a monthly subscription fee like a lot of people do, we're going to actually ask them to buy stock in the company per car. So if they sell 30 cars a month, each month they'll buy $100 worth of our stock. And if you multiply that out and grow it out, that will be a perpetual drive to the stock of the company moving up. I also took this company public. I'm the first independent car dealer in the history of the world to ever take a company public that I'm aware of. Now, to answer your question, what tools we're using? We're currently not using any specific tool. Everybody knows how to use ChatGPT. Everybody knows how to use all the other stuff. What we're trying to figure out is if we can get funded, then we can put a team onto a specific platform or a specific language. Our CTO, Siddharth Rami, what did you decide we were going to do with the AI tools? We were talking to the guy in Chicago that we're trying to build the platform.
He's building a dealer management system, and potentially some of the things that are going to be using the AI to
But which system is he using? Do you know? What we don't actually know what the back end of the thing is, but what we're trying to do right now is literally one of our clients was working on the integration of. We use Join.me and GoToMeeting and other things like what we're doing right now to manually deal with our customers. We want to convert a lot of that into AI, so we're a little early on that part of it.
Interesting. And then maybe can we talk about, how the example you mentioned earlier about being able to do a sale within 20 minutes, which is super fast. Is that because in that situation, like the buyer and seller were just all ready to go? Because from my experience, people could go and ha over a certain model, price point, negotiate. So that could drag along the actual sales process.
Sophia, this is what we're really good at. A client gets on the phone with us and calls because we put 80 cars on the ground for them to make phone calls to us, so that would create kind of instead of spending all of our cash on advertising in the marketing world and hoping that it sticks and succeeds, we put cars on the ground and people call about our existing cars. 90% of the time when they call, the car is either sold or it's about to be sold. So we say to them, let's jump on a meeting right now in join.me. And they get on the meeting with us and we share with them the screen of our source. During the sharing of the source, we're interviewing them about what it is that they would like to buy. And we're introducing either what they called about when you're asking, are they already good to go? For example, this morning I received one for a CRV. I said, have you thought of an NX200 Lexus? Have you thought about an Acura RDX? Have you thought about a RAV4 with similar equipment? And a lot of the times they may or may not have driven those cars. We put all of them on the screen together and we explain to them what each car does differently. Now, AI can be on a separate screen where it actually starts spitting up all the different things that we can make the physical explanation that I'm doing easier and quicker. But the long story short is we're short-circuiting them having to go test drive in 4 different dealerships by having a live virtual test drive in person with a customer and showing them the cars and giving them a good experience by describing it well. So some of those things can be handled without having a human being do it. And the way that we shorten it to 20 minutes or less, they don't hem and haw as much, because a lot of the adversarial stuff that they're very nervous about with a retail dealership is taken away by the level of transparency. We show them on the screen, we say, we're paying $25,000. This car's going to deliver to you for $28,975. You know how much I'm paying up front, and you know the condition of the car up front. Most car dealers, they take the worst car they can get away with, clean it up, and by the time you get it, you don't know what it started as. But because the client sees all of that information at first blush, it short circuits the nervousness. It short circuits the any mistrust is what I'm trying to say. And because of that, we really are able to cut it to 15 or 20 minutes. If they need a smidgen more time, yesterday I had a Lexus customer, she and her husband. We can email them what we have, wait 20 minutes, and then 20 minutes later we call and close, and it gets done. And a lot of it has to do with a husband and wife. Quickest story. She's in New Jersey. She calls in. We do the meeting. 20 minutes in, she said, I want my husband to look at this. I said, well, where is he? He's on an airplane coming back from London to New York. I said, get him on the phone. We get him on the phone on a 3-way call. We get him on the phone on a 3-way share with the screen. And before he landed, we had sold them the car, bought the car, and 3 or 4 days later, it delivered to their door. AI is simply going to be the next tool for optimizing that part of our business, because the information is going to be quicker, and optimizing the search part of our business, and optimizing the scraping for consumers. New ways to do that. I work as an expert in insurance. I testify in diminished value cases, landmark $100 million case.
Philip, we are going to have to wrap up. When it gives Sophia just a
so the AI will solve some of those problems, which is why we get the cars done quicker.
Yes, and there's an exclamation point on a couple of those points you made toward the end. So great way to, I think, end it. And Sophia, just in a minute or two before we go, and thank you, Philip, so much for joining us. Can you give us sort of just a wrap up on the sessions we've had, a recap? And
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Such a great pleasure. Always great pleasure learning from founders and what they're building. As you can see in this session today, we cover a variety of industries, and that shows how vibrant the startup world is and how interesting these opportunities are. As a retail investors, you could have access to these investments through King's Crowd. I encourage you to explore these opportunities, and I wish everyone continued success.
That's great. Thank you, Sophia, for the question sessions, very thoughtful questions to each of the entrepreneurs, the founders. And so the next session is going to be on investing beyond the mainstream, alternative assets. And so I want to also encourage people to look at, if you're not already accessing the King's Crowd data, a wealth of information that's available there, whether you're an investor side or if you're a founder itself, good information to go there for benchmarking and seeing what everyone else is doing. So with that, I think we've wrapped up. And so again, thank you, Sophia. Thank you, everyone else, for attending. And we'll turn it over to the King's Crowd folks to walk us to transition over to the next panel.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now.